So, Jim, the Calcutta Cup.
Say it.
Scotland are favourites,
Yes,
are they?
we are.
Yes,
Yes, we are.
You
We've
are,
won it last 3 times on the bounce.
Yeah.
We are the favourites.
You've got the wood over England. Always tough.
I was chatting to Hoggy and Bernard Jackman about this game, obviously, and
On the Big Jim show, live.
Big shout out. It wasn't live; it was just the podcast. And I listened to it back, and I threw a ridiculous comment out there.
Yeah,
I said that we are 15 points better than England, which, going away from the conversation, was like, that's a bit high.
Yeah,
but we are better than England, and we have to be comfortable to say that. And what does better mean?
What does better mean?
Like, how do you break that down?
You all played 2, won 1, lost 1.
Yes.
The Grand Slam's on for England, mate.
Well, there you go. So 15 points better.
15 points.
A semi-final, nearly beating South Africa. But maybe it is that stat because we've won it the last 3 times in a row. We're a team that know our identity of how we want to play. We're settled. And I look at the England team still, and I'm not convinced that they know who they are, what they are, and how they want to play.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a point now where it is shoulders back and cocks out. And
it's like,
here we go. And we own it.
Get your bush out.
And we say, we are at home. We say, we are at home. And we need to be comfortable to say that we are favourites.
Yeah.
And that we are going to beat England at the weekend.
Isn't it amazing that the confidence now of you speaking, yet you never won the Calcutta Cup as a player?
Well, I drew. You want to see, mate, the lads are sending me on comments and stuff like that. People just, like, as we grow and as this grows and as my confidence around the Scotland team grows.
You lay the foundations, right?
Well, people keep saying, oh, you played in the worst era Scotland's ever seen. Yeah, the foundations, you just said it, Andrew. You know better than me. But the thing that worries me about England is the semi-final.
You ain't faced the Blitz yet, have you?
The players that are coming back in, talks of Manu, George Martin, Ollie Lawrence, like 3 massive players for them coming back. Yes, we've got Blair Kinghorn coming back. Hamish Watson is back in the squad now. Whether or not he makes the 23 or he's just got to hold it back as 24th man, I'm not too sure. But it's that kind of just based on the 2 games we've seen.
Yep.
And I'll say that. Okay, we nearly should have, could have, would have got a bonus point against Wales. We didn't. We left it all out there. But how well we played in that first half, how well we played against France. Tagline again.
Plucky losers?
No, we just need to put it all together.
Yeah.
So, like, the way we played against France for the first half especially, we looked unbelievable.
Yeah.
First half against Wales, we play like that against England, regardless of whatever team they've got out. Then I think we win comfortably. But
comfortably?
I know, but it sounds, I'm almost like fueling the fire of the England team. And if they play how they say they want to play, and it's the running rugby of Northampton, of Quinn's DNA style to excite the fans, then I think we lap that up and we are, I'm not going to say 15 points better. It all depends on the weather. We are 8 points better.
You've said 15 points.
I'm going to say 8. I'm going to say 8 points better. This is a bigger audience.
Yeah.
We've got a bigger audience on the rugby pod.
You're backtracking from 15 to 8 and by Saturday morning it'll
What's the weather? What's the weatherman saying?
The weatherman says it's dry.
Alrighty.
It's dry. Do you know what? This is the first year as an England fan. So we have this crack every year, don't we? And yeah, obviously you won at Twickenham last year. For the last 4 or 5 years of talking about this game, I'm always like, nah, we can't lose to Scotland. Like, we should be beating Scotland. And, you know, there's an expectation that I think England should beat Scotland. But this year, I'm like, nah, you boys are favourites. And so part of me is like, that's a good place to be because the pressure is on Scotland. Whereas previous years, the pressure's probably always been on England because there's an expectation that England will win. In my opinion, the expectation is now flipped. And for all those points you just made about how settled Scotland are, England, there's a lot of positives and there's a lot of talent in the squad, but we haven't fully seen everything yet. We've seen
That's the issue.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at some of the names that producer Rob has kind of thrown into the mix. So if I see an England team that's set up with a Genge, Jamie George, a Dan Cole for the scrum.
Yeah, Will Stewart.
A Maro Itoje, a George Martin, a back row of whoever they've got.
You dropping Chesham, are you?
Well, you could put George Martin at 6. That probably works out better for you. And I see a Ben Spencer at 9.
Yeah,
Alex Mitchell
Ben Spencer is not starting.
I'm just saying, I see a Ben Spencer at 9. I see a George Ford at 10. I see a Manu Tuilagi at 12. I see a Ollie Lawrence at 13. I see Freddie Stewart at 15.
Yeah.
And whatever wingers you decide to pick, then I start to worry.
There we go.
Because I'm thinking,
Steve?
You're set up with some physical beasts on the pitch with a kicking game, which will be boring to watch, but will be very effective, a la the semi-final against South Africa. That worries me. But from what I've seen in the first 2 games for England, that doesn't worry me as a Scotland fan.
Does the Blitz defence worry you with
no.
Finn?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Really?
It doesn't, no. We're
coming for you.
I don't think it worries Scotland because I look at Italy, and yes, they've got a much better attack. I look at Wales, they've got a good attack.
Our defence got better week on week.
It got better week on week. But I think even against South Africa, and this is a throwaway comment again because that's what I do, we found the edge of South Africa a few times.
Who's
in
we?
That game.
Scotland?
Scotland.
We got absolutely hosed, pal.
No, we didn't get hosed against South Africa. We just didn't take our opportunities. You remember the one before half-time? Darcy Graham down that left-hand side. I think Finn is suited and set up to play against that style of defence.
Yep.
And we've now got the players with Jack Dempsey at 8, Matt Ferguson's on fire, Rory Darge is a good carrier, Grant Gilchrist is a good carrier, Xander Ferguson, P.S.
I love
George Turner to punch holes to get on the front foot and to put England's defence, questioning whether or not they should be blitzing with Finn Russell, who we know very rarely, I can't say this, shall I say, very rarely gets intercepted.
Hey.
All right, and gets into the wide
You've
channels.
laid the foundations
and we know
for 2 intercept tries for England.
He is wicked at the crossfield kick pass as well.
Yeah.
So he's got the skill set to be able to unlock a defence like that. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
But it's about getting on the front
James,
foot.
But also, having faced blitzes, when you think you've got all the tools, the skills, the players around you.
Did you take the ball to the line though, Andrew?
That's all I could do.
To the line?
Belly first.
To the line?
But against a blitz, you don't want to be taking the ball to the line.
Okay, tell me more. Tell us more.
Finn,
you listening?
You need to if you're looking to get to an edge, you don't take the ball to a line. You know, you let the line come to you. You get decoys, 1 pass deep, get to the edge.
A switch, like a switch?
No,
like
no.
Like a switch, a dummy switch, and then like a pop?
Well,
DSP?
So you can do that as well, but you need 2 waves of attack, and you need to hold your depth. You let them think.
Sounds easy, mate. This sounds like a really easy way of unlocking the defence.
On paper, when you talk about it, everything looks easy, but facing it and in the heat of battle, and let's be honest, there is no better 10, probably in the Northern Hemisphere at least, if not the world, than Finn with a box of tricks that could unpick a defence that's new. But I saw a lot in that second half against Wales where there was so many connections around the blitz and the physicality just to go phase after phase after phase. And that's where I just question with Finn. He'll keep prodding, he'll keep going, he'll keep trying. And there is opportunities to pick up, not because it's Finn, but there's opportunities to pick up intercepts, cheap tries, turnovers, and you just never know the bounce of the ball. But I'm excited. I can't wait for the game. And I'm excited by it because Scotland are favourites. And that hasn't necessarily been the case for the majority of people that are looking at the game. Scotland would have always fancied themselves over the past however many years, and they've gone on and won it. But a lot of neutrals and a lot of England fans and probably Scotland fans would go, yeah, but England probably should win or could win. Whereas now it's like Scotland should be favourites. And we're the underdogs. But I just think things might click for us. There is that power coming back into the team, hopefully.
That's the thing. So what has worried me for England in years gone by is a fit Manu Tuilagi, is a Mako Vunipola, is a Billy Vunipola, is an 8, 9 out of 10 Maro Itoje.
He's back on form, Maro, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still got a bit to go, but he's definitely in the right direction.
Start Genji at Lucerne, man of the match up there a few years back.
So and that's what I mean. So it depends what the makeup of the team is. Does he go with Finn Smith? Does he throw him in? I don't think he does.
He sticks with George Ford.
But then if you've got Manu outside him, like how fit is
Manu? This is the big thing around. It's all good and well having these names back in. You mentioned 3 of them there: Ollie Lawrence, Manu Tuilagi, George Martin. They haven't played any rugby for a few months now. Ollie Lawrence, and I say this, I think fairly. every time he's played over the past however long, he's making breaks. He's doing some unbelievable things with the rugby ball. Offloading, putting people through holes, making line breaks himself, fending the one-hand carries and then getting an offload away. You saw that one for Bath where he just left it in the space. Ridiculously good. So I'd be probably starting Ollie Lawrence and Henry Slade in the centres and have a Manu on the bench. Because Manu, we've built our centre partnership around him. We always do it in England. Manu is such an X-factor player. And I'm probably being a bit harsh here. 7-8 years ago, he was the best on the planet probably in that position with what he brought. But we're always kind of waiting for that. And he's had loads of injuries. He hasn't played since December, I think. And he's tapered his game a little bit around his injuries and being less aggressive, like 110% with every tackle, every carry, everything. And I don't know, maybe I think Manu would be better off the bench coming to blast some boys in the last 25 minutes.
Well, we've been poor.
Yeah.
In the second half.
Yeah.
And our bench isn't as good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying in that position specifically. Cam Redpath, if he's on the bench, has been very good. But
it'd be interesting.
We've not put in
he ain't going with Finn Smith. As much as I think I'm desperate to see Finn Smith, because he looks really mature as a player, doesn't he? A young kid. But he looks composed, doesn't look flustered in anything that he does. And I want to see him get a shot, but there's no chance, I don't think. Steve Borthwick makes that call this weekend. He'll start George Ford, who's got to do a bit of cleaning. Loves his cleaning, George Ford.
Yeah, he's a loose cannon, him.
Gets home every night, do 15 minutes of cleaning. Just sets the tone. But, yeah. I don't know. England are going to win, mate. Silence.
Yeah,
you saying Scotland? You said Scotland by 15.
No, I said that before.
You're going to be eating your truths.
Based on what I've seen, Scotland by 8. I think just Blair Kinghorn come back in. He's been on fire.
You have to pick
Toulouse. Yes, Harry Patterson was very good. 8 games.
What about Patterson?
Yeah, he had to go
man of the match.
Yeah.
He got man of the match, didn't he?
Yeah, he got man of the match.
Man of the match for Scotland or Scotland's man of the match.
Our man of the match.
Yeah. Amazing debut. Yeah, mate. Just off you go to Zebra.
Yeah, please.
It was in Zebra as well.
It was in Zebra, and they run Edinburgh very close.
Yeah. So he ain't playing this weekend.
Yeah, but maybe that's because he hasn't played a huge amount. I don't know.
Yeah, Blair Kinghorn's back at foot.
Blair Kinghorn back at 15, and he's wicked as well.
Class. As a fullback.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Again, just more, I'm not promoting the Big Jim show, but if you want to listen to it, you can go. But Hoggy gives some real insight into the psyche around Scotland playing England. He didn't fear playing England. So he had a completely different
at the start or the
perception.
End?
Yeah, at the end over the last few years.
Yeah.
So the mindset of the Scotland team, it's not like, England of old. Like I just went through the archives of the players,
but they'd have had that kind of fear. Not fear. Fear is probably the wrong word, but nervous excitement and nerves probably over maybe last year as well, but over the last few years. Now that's changed. I think it's like they think they're rocking up winning.
Yeah.
Whereas before they thought, if we get it right, we're winning.
But we need to perform
80 minutes James.
Like that. No, but we need to perform with arrogance is the wrong word that I've used a lot. With confidence.
Yeah.
And be able to go out there and say, this is what's happening, this is what we're doing. We are better than England, who are a team in transition.
Yeah.
But it will come down to, I don't see England playing how they've said that they want to play. I don't think they play like that.
Are you guys still asking the Six Nations to get the Scotland-France game replayed?
It's all gone quiet.
That's what Gregor said.
Is that what he said?
Well, he wasn't happy with it. They wanted an apology from World Rugby.
Yeah, I'm going to apologise to absolutely fucking nobody. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this is the one for the fans as well.
Yeah.
Edinburgh's going to be buzzing this weekend. This is the one where, out of all the teams, there's still that deep-rooted history of, doesn't matter, mucker. As my dad said to me, you could lose to everyone, just beat the English.
Yeah.
Okay, Dad. No, well, that didn't happen. So what about Romania? Does that feel like
mate. You beat
a positive win? Yeah, beat them a couple of times, actually. But this is still the one for the fans.
Yeah.
This is the biggest game of the Six Nations.
It's going to be massive, isn't it?
It's going to be awesome. And hopefully the weather does hold out, because I remember a couple of years ago where remember that wind?
Yeah.
And it was just a shit game.
Well, there's been a few that have been awful games purely because of the weather. And I think that will probably suit England more because of how you like to play.
With kick is the bars.
But, and England will revert to type a bit, as they did in the second half to beat Wales. And there's nothing wrong with that. But also, there's an opportunity to attack Scotland and put our attacking game on them with the players that we've got. But you're right, James. You boys are favourites.
And I think England will click.
Yeah.
But not just yet. Not this weekend. I don't.
I need us to win because, it's you and Scotland and Grand Slam game. Ireland coming to town round 4, and they're 100% going to smash Wales this weekend.
That's the thing that breaks me. About that France game. Is when we beat England at the weekend, when we beat Italy in Rome, that
you could have been going to Dublin for the Grand Slam game.
Yeah. It's not about me, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I can't wait, pal. It'll be awesome. It's what the Six Nations is about. It's the game of the weekend. I'm not just saying that because I'm biased. Are you saying that as well? Is this the game of the weekend?
Yeah, 100%. A bit bigger than France, Italy, and Ireland, Wales. Mate, it's a huge game. It always is. It's kind of weird now because you go back to our era, and without disrespecting the Scots, it was never really a thought that England were going to lose to Scotland. And it was like a big shock, wasn't it, when it did happen? And now it's always Scotland that are winning. And you have the wood over us. And sometimes, and at some point, that has to change, James, which I believe will be Saturday, 4:45 kickoff. By 6:30, England will have the Calcutta Cup back in our hands.
Scotland by 8 points.
England by 4, James. Put a tattoo on it?
Are you keen?
No, I'm not keen. No.
Shave your head. I will
shave your bush.
I will do either.
No, I'm doing nothing.
Of those?
I'm doing nothing.
Okay, so you're not that confident?
No, I'm not that confident. No,
you're
not. Scotland are favourites. But I believe that England, or I hope England, they come good. And the Grand Slam march will carry on to round 4 for England and Ireland.
Pod.
Rugby pod.